G'day guys, London session analysis time. So as always, I'll be having a look at GJ, Gold, GU and as for today. I hope you've all had a good week. Been a pretty quiet week, guys. For me, I'm not trading all that much at the moment, to be honest. I'm on the charts a little bit during the London session. Took two trades for 2 wins this week. I think that makes it 4 trades for 4 wins for so far for this year. Just been really quiet, been plodding away. I think it's 5 wins actually. Thereabouts. Uh, Unless, let's have a look. GJ, I noticed some of these charts are, wow, big moves yesterday. GJ, looking at the weekly time frame, strong bullish candle. We are hovering above last year's high, and we're in price discovery. We haven't been this point since all the way back in October 2000 or November 2015. So therefore, I'm not going to really have any targets to the upside. I'm not going to have the data feed going back that far. But what this counts suggests to me that if we do pull back, I'm going to look to the left to see where we could potentially form a support on the minor time frames before we head back up to potentially retest the high or create a high to continue on for the remainder of Friday. Looking at dailies potentially flipping bullish. We're yet to actually close above, but we are now hovering above. Just going to mark in the high of that previous resistance to the left. We are so trending bullish again. What I said earlier in the week, we've created support, form support at strong support and daily, and look what we've done since impulse the upside, high low, high low, and again another impulse the upside. So we can't just guess and think, right, so now we're ready for a pullback. We need to wait for some sort of confirmation. So for me, that will probably, I'd be more comfortable that could be potentially doing that if we come back down to break our own low. Reason being is because seeing we've broken the high of the previous candle, there is no need for us now to really pull back to retest that low, not only break it. If we do so, there's a high probability at that point there. I think we will end up closing a bearish candle for the daily. At this stage, that's far off. Obviously, momentum to the upside, really pushing to the upside. Now, on to the 4 hour, it's also technically bullish. Again, that's the resistance to the left. I'm just going to marking that whole level, guys. See what happens. We pull back to retest. I want to see if we have retested already on the M30. Going to mark in support below it. I'm also going to mark in the most recent resistance that broken out as a potential of a price could pull back to retest, and that is at around the current daily candles low. Looking at on the M30 now, we can maybe adjust these zones a little bit. See what they line up with. I'd probably now just drag this across to more recent price action. Something like so, and I'd say, yep, like so. It's a bit cleaner if we start to pop below level there. Not only that, the M30 structural flip back bearish at that point. So definitely interested in selling it below that point there. Now as for the buy option, so we are obviously in a heavy uptrend right now. What I probably want to see on GJ today is let it create the move just now. It's obviously not yet retested that 188.70 sort of level, 188.650. So let it create the move, pull back, grab some more liquidity at potentially that previous resistance, form a support at that level, and then look for your confirmations to buy it back up later on. For me personally, I wouldn't feel comfortable just buying it on a break of the high upon continuation at the open. I feel like I'm chasing at that point and probably acting in FOMO. I'd rather just wait for the pullback if I was to buy it. As for the sells, it's tempting to sell higher up, but again, I just don't really see much, to be honest, until we actually flip the structure bearish. We're in such an uptrend in this weekly candle. It's forming so strong bullish. But I would say, however, if we do begin to pop below that resistance, back below that resistance to the left-hand side of the 4 hour resistance, then there is a good chance we will come back down to retest this zone. So it could be something for potentially later on. If we pull back towards the support, form a support, create a lower high, lower low, maybe a time volume, but that might come more towards NY open if we have a 4 hour candle. Also, we correlate with 4 hour candle closing back bearish below resistance. That could potentially be an option to sell back down. It's something I'd look at. Otherwise, sells below. Once we've got the structure flipping back bearish on the M30, that's where I'd consider selling it. Otherwise, I'd prefer to look for my buy options at this stage on GJ and not try to predict and guess that we're the highs in at the moment, because we have no indication. This is still just moving to the upside. Looking at gold, all right, so gold I think has flipped to a neutral bias, but looking at so the weekly is forming still, I'd still call it strong bearish, lower high, lower low. It is still, if you were to mark in a fib, closer to its low than its high, below 50%, but by eyeballing it, so I would call that weak bearish. Again, it's just to me, pullbacks could be met by resistance and my time frame head back down, but then I look at the daily and I see it's bullish in structure. Not only that, previous daily candle did close back bullish at this previous resistance, and the current dailies are high, low, higher, high, so that suggests to me it's good, maybe potential opportunity for price to continue to the upside. I'm going to mark in previous daily candles low. Not going to mark in a high just yet. I want to see what we got below that previous daily candles low. We are bullish with a nice strong bullish candle closure. The 4-hour structure looks to be still technically bearish, but it looks like, yep. I've got some resistance here. Got some more resistance we've just recently formed. I'll just drag that up and see what it looks like in M30. And support, just use that level for the time being. All right, so we're currently at a resistance, really. This whole level is a resistance on the 4-hour. And then we run straight into another one. So the 4-hour is at a very critical level where we reject. We form resistance on the previous count. We're respecting the high, but I believe if we respect the high, begin to break the low, there could be some good opportunities to look for sell options. The M30s, however, flipped bullish. That was a swing point just there. We've obviously closed above it, and it will remain bullish until we actually close below these lows just here. So what I'd be looking now on gold is, do I really want to buy at the current level, even though the M30 is bullish? Probably not. However, having said that, it's quite clean to the left-hand side above the resistance. Could be some cheeky little options to take a buy, guys. If I was to do that, drawing this resistance, connected to the bearish candles, where the candles actually create the resistance, and then simply just wait for a closure above. I feel there's a high probability we're going to come up towards that 2028.50. But again, we're in heavy consolidation, so right now I'd wait for the closure above if I was to look for potential buys. As for further buy options, what I'd be doing is marking further levels of support that price could potentially pull back to, form a support at. Obviously got this point here. I'd also be looking at current daily lows, so as long as we respect, the previous daily candles low, which will be at the support, the grey support further down. If we respect any of these levels, then obviously I'm going to be looking for my buy options from this point just here, 2014 950, above, and even lower down, guys. As I always say, buy low, sell high. It gives you the opportunity. Now, as for the sellers, what we've done within the current daily, again, we've created a high, we've created a low, we've formed support, we've formed resistance. We are to continue bullish. We have no need to pull back and break the low of the current daily candle. The issue with that is we run straight into another support to the left. So if we begin to break it, pop below this level here at 2019-20 roughly, we've got some pretty clean traffic to the left-hand side. I'd feel quite comfortable looking for some counter trend M30 sells based off the fact that we're at that 4-hour resistance. We could be potentially rejecting to come back down further before we potentially create another support to buy it back up. So that's what I'll be looking at on gold. Quickly onto GU. I'm not going to waste too much time on it. Then again, let me do the analysis. Weekly forming weak bearish. That's pulled back quite significantly. It's just awkward. GU is really awkward. Lower high, lower low. Daily structure is still technically bullish with respecting the swing point each time we come down to it. Current daily has broken the high of the previous, but is currently pulling back. I'm going to mark in the high of the previous daily candle, see what we've got. Current daily candle, see what we've got above it. So bullish in structure, counter probabilities to upside, but currently pulling back. 4 hours, lower highs, lower lows. Structure on the 4-hour looks to be technically, I think it's bearish from yesterday, if I'm not mistaken. Bullish, yeah, it is still bearish until we actually close above this point here. So the 4 hours bearish, jumping in previous support to the left. I just marked that in. So you're selling it from pretty much the highs at the moment, which is good. So I think it all comes down to the M30, to be honest, guys, to see what's going on in that on that time frame. And to me, that looks to be, if you're really technical about it, you could say it's flip bearish. that is the highest closure. Got a swing point. Yeah, I'd say it's bearish. So what I'd be looking for now on GU, I'd rather sell it in all honesty. However, seeing we've had that previous daily closing bullish, we could just be pulling back to grab liquidity. We've got daily structure and a weekly candle bullish. 4-hour M30 structure is bearish. I'd be looking just to see where we could potentially pull back to form a support before we head back up. And obviously at a previous 4-hour resistance, could be grabbing liquidity. Got a zone of a support at this point just here, around 126.861. Kind of in the middle just now, guys. There's not much options, I feel, if you're not in it from higher up. So I'd be looking for price pull back towards that level. One bit of structure at this point here. So look to potentially buy back up towards 127 flat, that sort of region. Now, aside from that, does form a support, create a bit of a pullback come London Open. Doesn't necessarily need to tap back into this resistance. We get out signals from upon a pullback to sell it from higher up. I'd also be looking at that. I'd just be playing a range and being patient with it just now, guys, because it's made a move. It's kind of right in the middle. It just needs to simply wait, I feel, on GU. Continue buys above the highs upon continuation also make perfect sense in my opinion. And buys from lower down. And we can finally move on to NAS. And has that been on a tear? Wow. Saw this before. This is, I don't even have data going back far to see when we'll last at this level. No idea. So I'm just going to use psychological round numbers, guys. What I can see is we're in a massive uptrend. It's bullish across the board. Obviously, yesterday, strong bullish counter closure. Current weekly is now forming strong bullish long wick to the downside. And any pullbacks within this candle suggest to me it could be met by support and minor time frames before we head back up. Daily high highs, high lows. Let's mark in current daily candles low to see what I've got below it. Bullish in structure. It has flipped, yeah, it was bullish. Actually, the 4-hour it's flipped. Yeah, it has flipped as well. It is bullish across the board. 4-hour also bullish, marking previous resistance. That point there. All right, it's gonna be simple on NAS. What are we looking at today? I reckon just by looking at this M30. All right. In all honesty, what I'd be looking at on NAS is one of two things right now. Buys above the highs upon continuation. It is an uptrend and it has pulled back to grab some more orders to cool off a little bit. So if it begins to break above yet again, current daily candles high coming towards the time volume, and I feel there's a good option for it to continue. I'd be targeting those psychological round numbers so that, yeah, look for your 50s, 80s, and 100, like flat numbers, 10s, that type of thing. Zeros, you guys get the drift. It's just price discovery at that point above the highs, so that's what I'd be targeting. Now, otherwise, I'd just rather buy it, to be honest. If it comes back down to this support, resistance form support at around at 16,970, for your cow swing price action to look to buy it from lower down. Would not be really considering sell options just yet. I would probably rather wait for a little bit more confirmation if I was to sell it, and that at this point will be, let me just put in buys above. That at this stage is likely going to mean waiting for a good strong 4-hour closure, back bearish, then use that to add confluence as you are using the 4-hour counter probabilities to downside, lower highs, lower lows, that type of thing. So maybe come NY, if we are just consolidating, sort of hovering around this resistance and begin to reject it, and you get your triggers to sell it from the highs, such as engulfing candles, breaking off minor supports, closing below supports, you have some decent traffic to the left, then it could be an option to take it back down towards that 16,970 level, potentially. But I would not force that right now. I'd just be really patient with it. And that's about it. That's a wrap, guys. So again, let me know how you've gone this week. I hope it's been a good one. And I will catch you guys next week. Also, if you could hit the like button, much appreciated. And have a good one. Cheers, guys. Bye for now.